we go. Make sure we're in the private group. We should be in the private group. So hello and welcome to those of you that are joining us today, and to those that will be joining us a little bit later, watching this as a replay. Something totally different, something that hasn't been seen before. So we're using the floral board from Michaels. This is, let me see, I want to say it's an 18-inch. Yes, 18-inch floral board. Can you go to Michael's website, Steve, and look this up? Tell me how much it was. I don't remember off the top of my head. I know it wasn't super expensive, but there's a ton of different things you can do with a floral board. Obviously, you can use it and hold flowers, but the interesting thing is that there's only a single hole. If you were really savvy with tools, you could add additional holes and use this like you would a Unique in the Creek, what do you call it, the ring frame, but this is just a floral board. So you could do a couple things. Let me measure this just for the sake of doing this.
Is it 18 inch or 20?
18 inch. I don't want to go 20. I'm trying to see. So the zip ties will fit. So technically you could do a zip tie in and a zip tie out and just zip tie florals all the way around the board if you'd like. I'm doing a totally different design. So it's not even on Etsy. So price point wise, I don't even know yet. I'm gonna finish it. We won't be able, we'll assemble the whole thing, but I won't be able to finish it until I'm done with it, and then I spray the entire thing with clear coat and see what kind of look we get with that. But let's see. Clara, you can get the floral board from Michaels. This is where I got mine. They come in 3 different sizes, but I think the 18-inch is going to be perfect for what I'm doing tonight. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a hanger. So I'm just going to pull enough of this, my scissors, just to make a small hanger. Figures the minute I go to cut it, it just sprays. So let's add. Trying to be very, very careful with this one. This is where you need the lighter or glue. It can't be that hard. Let's give it some glue so it'll set up and stay together. I'm just doing this because this particular type of twine that I have just wants to come undone. So I don't want it to come undone.
I'm not able to find it yet.
Not able to find it yet? Let's just do it this way. We're going to leave this sitting in here. Whoops. Got to do the old standard double knot. Make sure that it won't come out. I'm actually going to keep the this in the center. So, ready to see where the interesting thing comes into play? We're going to create a wood wreath. A wreath made entirely from wood. I think it'll go over well for Father's Day. There's a ton of different looks you can make from it. So all you need to do to put this together, I've never made one. I kind of just played with the layout today, so we'll see how it goes. What you will need is you will need not plastic shims, wood shims. You can buy them in a package like this from Lowe's, Home Improvement Centers. You get 12 in a package. You will need 4 packages. It generally takes between 24 and 32 It just depends on how you lay them out. But a lot of times when you open your packages, you're going to get ones that are not 100%, so allow for that. Fortunately for me, I opened 3 packs and most of them were pretty good. You can choose to leave it natural. I chose to stain mine. I laid it all out the first time with all natural, and I liked the stain effect. So the stain that I chose to use on mine is this stain right here, which is called Golden Oak. Golden Oak. So we're going to be building an entire wreath made from wood shims. And I'm going to show you how we're going to do this. Like I said, I've never done it before. It's not on Etsy. You can't find these for sale anywhere. So we're just going to have fun and try to come up with a totally new design. I am going to use E6000 adhesive. This takes 24 hours to dry, so we're going to be using a combination of this plus hot glue to hold it. And then once the E6000 sets up, it doesn't matter how hot it becomes outside, we should not have an issue with any of these coming loose. So the first thing you're going to do, I'm going to leave that one for a little bit later, is you're going to take your shim and you need to have it resting slightly off the wreath, like so. Just like that. And I'm going to grab like my next one and show you how they're going to kind of sit. They're going to kind of sit like this. You have to come up with a length, like here and here, that you're going to be comfortable with. And then once you come up with the length that you're comfortable with, then you want to make sure that every single one of them is set up the exact same way. So this is basically, what is that, 1 1/8, I think? No, 1 1/4. 1 1/4 inches. So the first one, I'm going to put on the ugly side because some of the shims are super ugly. And now I have no hand strength to do this. Lord, when you put this on, you put it on tight. Can you get that off? You want to try? Tell me if you can get it off. So, Stu's going to go ahead and finish that off for me and try to get that off. So we shall see. So see, like some of the shims, you can totally tell has one, like, I don't know, one's the bad side and one's a good side. What I did is I opened up all of my shims. I opened up 4 packages of them. Some of them have a lot of wood grain on them, like this one does. So if you were to stain it, you see a lot of the wood grain. Some of them, I'm looking at, are any of these? Like the one that I'm using right now does not have an awful lot of wood pattern. So I stained everything and then I went through and we're staggering them so we will have some that are plain and some that have a little bit of a pattern to them. So as soon as he comes back with opening my E6000, we'll go ahead and get started. You can decide how far off you want it to come off of your frame. I don't want mine to come off too far. So I'm just gonna, what I want is a slight overlap here, but what we're gonna be doing is gluing it. If you look at the shim, it has a fat side and then it goes all the way down to the thin side. So we're gluing from the thin side. And he was able to get that to work. So it oozes. So we're gonna go ahead and put some on here. I am going to put my glue on here as well. And then I'm gonna take it, flip it over, slight overlap, just like so. And then we're gonna grab our next shim. I think I'm gonna do this one. Same thing, I'm gonna do 4, make it look like a 5 dice. And then I'll put the hot glue. A little bit like this. It's gonna have lots of glue on it. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue the next one down. So I have it slightly overlapped by probably 1/4 of an inch. I'll double check my measurement. I think this one we're going, yeah, it's still 1 1/4 inches. Okay, we're just gonna keep on going. Now we've got one that's a little bit more of a patterned wood. So we'll make it look like a 5 on a dice.
Susan asked, won't one glue work, or what's the purpose of the different glues? The E6000 is really an industrial glue.
Yes, it's like an industrial strength type of glue.
Right. The wood, the hot glue might kind of pop off after a while, but the E6000, once it's on, after 24 hours, it's on.
I'm just pulling this back ever so
Same
slightly.
with wood glue. You could use wood glue, but it would take a while for it to set up.
So 1 1/4. It's actually sticking really well right now. So even me trying to make that slight little adjustment was a bit of a pain. Okay. Double check.
Yeah, so the E6000 kind of takes 24 hours for it to set up, but the wood glue will set up within, a couple minutes.
Oh yeah, and that's why we're choosing to use the wood glue. The wood glue is basically holding the shim in place until it dries. Or the glue gun will hold it into place until the E6000 has a chance to dry. So I'm just making sure that all of my measurements are right on the money for that. Okay. I think you guys will be pleasantly surprised when you see what it looks like. So you can see I'm just making a dab or two on each, going right up to my rim. Double checking it's 1 1/4 inches, making sure that this is right along the edge of the rim. Let's get another one that's more patterned here. I just wanted to make sure, because it's never been done before, that we would not have an issue with it coming loose. So that's why we're using double the type of glue. Okay. Just like that. Now we'll do a plain piece. Like I said, it just looks like a little 5 on the dice. And then I'm just adding some hot glue to the edge. This one looks a little, I was gonna say it looks a little thicker. Here's another one with real pretty wood. If your shim lifts because your shims are not perfectly flat, what we can do is take a clothespin that there, just to hold it flat while you're getting the other pieces ready. That one just had a weird bow to it. Should be okay for this. Double check. Very good there. Push that up and in. Hold that one. It's like a little helping hand. Here, hold that for a minute. The challenging thing is not so much this part. It's putting in your last 4 or 5 pieces. Because you have to slide them under your existing part of your wreath as it's being built. Okay. And you don't have to worry if like the very edge of your shim right here is a little bit damaged, because it's going to get covered over by each consecutive layer. Are you guys excited to see what it'll look like? I think that this would be perfect for Father's Day, because it's a very
Yeah, I could see you making a lot of different designs, like a modern, like all black. We even one for the beach. Like you said, the mirror behind it would be really cool.
Yeah, you could definitely put a mirror behind this if you wanted to use it as like a frame. It's definitely an option you have. That is really oozing out a lot.
Rita asked, how did you come up with this idea?
I saw a photo, but that was it. Just one photo. And from that point on, I went on a search, trying to research it to see if I could find it. Couldn't find it. So I was like, okay, I remember what they said they needed, so let's try it.
Kathleen, the frame is from Michaels. It is like an MDF or particle board.
It's a particle board.
Wood floral round frame.
Okay. It's pretty. Like, you can experiment with each piece that you have prepared, you know, to see if it gives you that much of a variation. I just wanted this, if it was gonna, you know, be placed outside or someplace where there might be some heat. You know, like I see somebody using this maybe out in the desert. That it needs to be able to stand up to the elements. So we're going to use a darker piece. And I'm applying the glue to the thin side.
Oh, Lisa, and you said that the inner side of the ring, the wood go in a tiny bit.
Yes.
Yes, the shims.
Just a touch. Like, you don't want to go crazy on the inside, but just a touch over. I know it's hard to tell in this one because I've got a split missing here. It's because you don't want to see the frame. All you want to see is the pieces of the wood.
I like that you teach in different mediums. Like an artist teaches using different art mediums.
Yeah, I'm not one for let's just do decomesh. Let's do decomesh. Let's do decomesh. You know, occasionally throw in a grapevine, occasionally throw in something else. I'm like, no. Let's throw something way in there. That'll make it much, much different.
Yeah, for people who love wood or farmhouse.
Yes.
This is really.
It's also great for people who are into minimalist.
Yeah.
Like people who just don't want a big bunch of stuff hanging on their door. They just want something simple. Sometimes we forget simple. Boop.
Claire said I use this in quilting. When
What?
you move the red center, it doesn't move. From Joanne's Dritz sewing cage. And she gave a part number.
What's that?
Looks like it's some sewing gauge with slider. I don't know. I'll have to look.
Is it just to make sure that you're keeping your measurements straight?
I think so, yeah.
I think once you get it down pat, you kind of know, you know?
Kathleen, yeah, we stained them. If you came out a little bit late, Kath and I stained them what's called a golden oak stain.
From Minwax?
Yeah, got it from Lowe's, Home Depot. Like $5 for the quart.
And trust me, you won't hardly need anything. We actually had it left over from a previous project that we did. So
yeah, the shims are from Home Depot or Lowe's.
and the pack of shims are only like, I think it was $1.78 per pack. And you need 4 packs. But you also want to make sure you're pulling it down far enough so that your edge hits the board. Otherwise, it's elevated too high up, you know, because it sits on top of the other one. So you always want to make sure, you know, you don't want to be too far up this way. You want to make sure that there's just enough so it can make contact with that board. Where's this? Okay. Next piece.
I just said so you could make one of these for between 10 and 12 bucks.
You have yet to tell me how much the frame was. Did you tell me?
I haven't been able to find it.
It's called floral board. So go to Michael's and look up 18-inch floral board.
I did.
Hold on, let me see. I think I have the wrapper. I don't even know if the wrapper has a price on it though. No price. So look at this item number, Steve. Go to Michael's. Type in search 103 364 53. How much is it?
Okay, floral ring by Ashland, $6.99.
So $7 if you buy it at its normal price, right? Or is that sale price? Is it in red?
No, it's in black.
Okay, so it's $6.99 normal. So if you get it on sale, it's less. But if you figure $7 plus $8, it's $15.
The 18 inches, $6.99. The 12 inches, $4.99.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Stuff that one in there. Here's another really pretty one with all the wood. I wanted to do this thing called black walnut, but it was actually way too black. And by using it, you would lose the wood grain texture. So that's kind of what I want. Back up here. Just make sure this one needs to come back a bit more. There we go. Pulled it a little too far forward.
So I think you're all in for most of the pieces, including the shims, the board, and the stain for about $20.
Yep. And then what I want to do when I'm finished is take this outside and clear coat it. I don't know if I want it in a high gloss. I think a gloss would look pretty, but then just this natural looks really nice as well. So just 5 dots and then put your glue opposite. Just making sure it comes back up. Make sure we're right on our mark. I think if you're consistent on your measurements, that's where it starts to look like way cool. So it's like I told Steve, this could be the next viral thing, or this could be the next big dud. So we'll have to see.
Either way, it's really pretty home decor.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Okay, come up. Measure. We're getting there. What do you guys think so far? It's kind of hard. You have it pretty. You have it zoomed in really far.
Yeah, just so they can really kind of see it. I'll zoom out here a little bit.
And I think when I just did a mock-up, just laid them all out, I think it comes to about a 24. I think is the diameter. So that's why I don't want my shims to go out too far. Because if they went out too far, then it's gonna, you know, you don't want it to go beyond what'll fit in a box. But this will fit between a storm door.
Gloria, nope, this would just be just the wood. She said the only thing she would do is put a gloss coat or a matte coat, clear coat over it.
Yeah, this one's kind of meant to just be its own, you know? Like the star of its own show. It looks really, really pretty when it's all done. Just because you get like the light and the darks from the different textures on the wood. I'm gonna do a little bit. Just like that. Trying to find some that are, see, like this one's got a lot of wood grain in it and then this one doesn't. So I'm kind of alternating between a wood grain look and that's about what I'm doing on my wood, just this much. See if we can get this one. I might have to pull that off to the side a bit so I can get that glued down where my hanger is. We're almost done. I don't think that, like in my original design, this is not going to have a bow. It's more of a natural look.
You kind of said like a minimalist, right?
Yeah, like people who just want something simple. We're gonna get to the challenging part and see how that works. Because it's always easy when nothing's glued down and you can just make slight shifts. But once it's glued down, we'll see how it's it's going to be trying to fit it all in there. Pull that off. And it's staying on there really good. Like some of the pieces that I've attempted to kind of slide back that don't quite fit the measurement. You can make slight little adjustments before they dry. If you want to pull them out a little bit more. Let's do this one. So now here's where we got to start trying to lift up the one before it. Since we're not gluing the fronts down. Oop. See, and this one's gonna go right about here. I'm trying to gauge how many other pieces I have. Probably another 2 or 3, and then we're done.
Susan, yeah, all the shims are the same size.
Yeah, you get them in a package.
And Kat kind of switched up between the shims that have like natural lines going down it and then ones that don't have it.
See, I'm trying to fill in this. So it starts to get really tight in there. Let's see. But then that's what a shim would be for, right? Okay.
Susan said you didn't know if there were different size packages. I think it's just one size, right, for the shims.
They're just one size.
Yeah.
Yes. Got to just get that one to go all the way in. Make the slight adjustment. There we go. We're all done. Let me get this. There we go. Now you can zoom out. It's funny, here it still shows. I will. That's fine. You can see the whole thing in here. So this is the whole thing in its completion. So I can't wait to actually get this on the door, but I'm gonna I roll up my tape and then I'm going to reinforce the underside because right now everything is glued down on the front and all the underside right now is kind of open. So I'm going to lay in a bead of hot glue.
Very nice. I like it. What's it measure now?
I will tell you. So from the farthest tip to the farthest tip, it's 21 inches. So it's super nice. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Go ahead and pull that drip off. So like right now you can't see the inside. So that's what you can see.
Yeah, really pretty.
Yeah, a lot of different colors. So on the underside right here, I'm gonna lay in a bead of hot glue.
Once it dries.
No, I'm actually gonna do that right now. Not gonna do it now. Or I'm gonna do it now. So it has an opportunity to dry.
Yes, it would also look amazing around the mirror too. Yeah, that's what Kat said earlier.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. I'm like,
Having a
oh, that'll
mirror
be really
inside.
pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, put a mirror inside that. So I'm just going around and adding hot glue just to fill in the gap and to hold the outside pieces together. So just right in here.
Give it lots of licks and loves. What do you guys think?
Oops, throw out my napkin. Stick this and put this over there. So I'm just giving it a little extra coating of the Gorilla Glue. So this is set to the extreme on super hot. So once this dries, it's going to give it that extreme temperature hold. Now I'm going to glue my tie inside so that doesn't move.
Yeah, it's probably not even 1.5 inches deep.
I will measure.
Yeah.
Obviously where it ends will be a touch taller than where it doesn't. Okay, that's all done. That's all reinforced with the glue. And let's see, measuring. Trying to see where it had the highest. I think it was right over here where it ended. This, I want to glue, give it some extra love where I had to lift those shims a little bit. Just slide the other ones in. Let me grab my clips. Like that. That one's a little too fat. Won't even bite into that. Let's see if we can get any of these to work. Yes. Just to kind of help hold everything slightly in spot. These ones kind of slid out a little bit. There we go. Okay. Yep, that's exactly where they slid. Okay. Highest point. It almost looks like maybe right over here. Here. Maybe 2 inches.
Yeah, that would easily fit.
So yes, definitely another storm door compatible design. But that's it. Super simple. Like I said, just shims. Take your time. You're gonna want to go bigger because the shims obviously are the size that they are. I wouldn't cut them down, otherwise you're not going to get the length to put them on the board. But there you have it. What do you got? What questions do you guys have?
You said that was awesome, Kat.
Thank you.
No, I don't even think you got to put a bow on it, right?
Nope, I'm not putting any bow on it. I'm keeping this very minimalistic. I don't want anything. I'm just filling the gaps.
How heavy it is?
It's actually not very heavy at all. Maybe 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds.
Yeah, shims are super light.
Yeah, I mean, they're wafer thin. And the shims are, I guess they're supposed to be closer to 8 inches. But,
Inch and a half by 8.
yeah, it's more like 1.25 inches by 8. So we'll give them some love. But I can't wait to take this, put a clear coat on. I'm going to probably do a matte finish first to see if I like that. Because I can always come in with a high gloss, or I can take my shim, spray it with a high gloss and see if I like that look. And then if I need to, spray another one with matte finish and see what look I like the best. But so far,
Cool thing is you could do farmhouse like a whitewash or a gray wash or black.
yeah. Okay, everyone. Well, I hope you enjoyed this simple tutorial. Something different. Hopefully something you haven't seen before. And I will let you know how the sale of it goes. If it sells, if it doesn't sell, who knows? It just might be one of those things where everybody wants one and you're like, okay. So I would strongly suggest that you guys all start making them. But yeah, it's just something fun. Doing something out of a different material.
She's probably just going to spray like a matte clear just so it's finished.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that if somebody were to put this outside, it's gonna,
Right.
it would wear well.
Yep. Then you can play with different stains or different paints for a different look.
Absolutely. You know, you can
And
paint
it was
it
easy.
and do whatever you want.
Yeah, it was easy. You're done within like 40 minutes.
Awesome. All right, everyone. Well, you have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye for now.